me. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are having an awesome Tuesday. Yeah, it's already Tuesday. So, I had some celebrity news I wanted to get into. The Diddy trial pretty much was a little weak today, I will say, but some good stuff did happen. So, I did want to get into that real briefly. They had a special agent who was pretty much giving some testimony today. Um, the special agent, what is her name? I'm gonna find her name here. But anyway, this special agent is a summary witness. So what she does, or what she did today, was pretty much summarized for the jury what details from like evidence from phones, any recordings that she found. What's up, Chris? What's going on? And yeah, so she summarized a lot of stuff and cleared a lot of stuff up for us today in court. So I just wanted to read over that a little bit here because it wasn't much. But so there's a big witness that's testifying tomorrow. Brandon Paul, the rug mule, is testifying tomorrow. So that's going to be very informative. I really can't wait to see that one. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel here so you can get the latest updates on that. And also give me a thumbs up. I really would appreciate it. So, of course, this information is coming from Inner City Press, that is. So the judge asked the government for the next witness. They called another special agent. Um, let's see here. They start showing a chart to the jury. What's up, Dan? Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Here I'm going over some notes from the Diddy trial today. Um, so so the government asked the special agent. They said, "Who are the participants in this chart?" What's up, Margaret? Margaret. Brokey, what's up? What's up? Make sure you guys come on in and subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up, okay? I'm going over notes from the Diddy trial. So the government called a witness, a special agent, and they asked, who are the participants in this chat? So the special agent has prepared some messages, different messages from different times. Special agent said Jules and Sean Combs. You read Jules, special agent, as Jules, and Jules, special agent says, I'm available Friday through Sunday, whatever flights work, which one? The government says they're acting as Combs, and they said Friday at 4 p.m. Where are the flights between? The government asks. The special agent says LA and JFK in New York. The government asks, do document retention policies impact our ability to get documents? The special agent says, yes, I could not get these records. So now it's 1:56 p.m. The trial is restarting. All rise. The jury has entered the courtroom. The judge asks Miss Johnson, you may proceed. Miss Johnson is with the prosecution. The prosecution or the government asks special agent, have you reviewed American Express records? The special agent says, I have. This was an Amex for a flight from Miami for Cassandra Ventura. The special agent says, here was a charge from the London hotel to this Amex account. The government asks, whose Amex account was it? Special agent says Sean Combs, he paid with an account that had a signature. The government asks, can you read this? The special agent says, yes, it's the Trump in Columbus Circle. I'm heading there now. Can you contact the front desk and get the P channel unlocked? I wasn't ready for that. Get the P, like corn, but with the P channel unlocked. So this is obviously people working for Diddy want to get the hotel set up for, I'm sure, the Wild Kings night, and they're asking for the P channel to be unlocked. The government asks, "What does Miss Ventura say?" She says, "Just called them." So Ventura was speaking to Diddy at this time. The government asks, "Who is in these communications?" The special agent says, "Cassie Ventura and New York Punish, aka Sheree Hayes." I think they meant Punisher. The government asks, "What is it about?" The special agent says, "The cost." The government asks, "And this?" The special agent says, "It's videos." The government asks, "Turn off the screen for the public and the press." So they didn't want the public or the press to see the screen of these videos that they played for the jury. Okay, and I'm assuming they are freak off videos because no one can see them but the jury and the lawyers. Then the judge asks Miss Johnson, "We're not seeing it." The government says, "Play from 10:30 to 11 minutes in." Okay, Special Agent Penland, "I want to direct your attention to line 23. I will read Mr. Combs. You read Miss Ventura." So the government is acting as Mr. Combs, and they text and they're reading, "You horny? Would you want to have a freak off?" Um, the special agent is acting as Cassie. She says, "Call Jules. Can you send me the hotel info? About to smoke. What are you doing?" Combs says, "What up?" Cassie says, "I asked him to drive around and wait until we want him to come up." The government says, "I'm a bit more sexually excited than last time. Dress casually and bring baby oil." Oh, this is again P. Diddy. Special agent is reading as Cassie. She says, "Casual, yes. Baby oil, no." The government says as the government, as Diddy says, "On my way to El Amarge." Cassie says, "Do you mind driving around until I tell you?" So I guess she takes that to the performer. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, let's get back to the London hotel. They must have went on a break. Who stayed there this day? The agent Penland says Sean Combs, Cassie Ventura, and Jules Theodore. The government asks the special agent, "What are these Amex charges?" Virgin America plane ticket for Jules Theodore. What airline is associated with the charge? The special agent Penland says American Airlines from JFK to LA. And the hotels, Four Seasons for Clayton Howard, aka Dave. Let's look at 6T108. What is this? The agent says a travel spot. What is this? A flight for Jules Theodore. What was the payment method? Sean Combs' Amex card. And whose name is in the invoice here? Mr. Philip Pines. A $500 charge for damage to drapes. What's this? The government asks special agent. She says, "Booking for Intercontinental in Times Square in the name of Frank Black." The government asks, "And this charge?" The special agent says it's for the L'Harmarge penthouse. $46,786 was paid. Oh my goodness, because of damages. They paid $46,000 to the hotel, y'all, with the Amex card, the American Express card. That monthly bill was paid by various accounts at Signature Bank, the special agent said. The government asks, "What's this charge?" Agent Penland said, a hotel in Riverhead. Where's that? The government asks. Long Island, New York. Is that where the Hamptons is? Special agent says yes. The government asks, these communications. Special agent says, between Sean Combs and Cassie Ventura, they're color coded, she said. The government asks, what is this? Penland said, a call from Combs to Ventura. It was about 21 seconds. Let's see here. What's up, you guys? Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel here and give me a thumbs up. What's up, Volex? What's up, Bob, the lawnmower guy? So the government asks, what is this to Agent Penland? She says, a call from Combs to Ventura. It was 41 seconds. The government asks, let's read this. Skylar can come later. Penland says, let's do Skylar. Then Skylar responds to Ventura. Go to slide 4, please, the government asked. Penland said, Skylar texts Ventura, what area? Sounds like they're hooking up. Let's see here. Then Skylar says, I'm laying my head down. Hit me up if we are getting together. What did these boxes show? 3 photos taken by Ventura. What day is this? March 6, 2016. Walk us through it. Combs calls Ventura. No answer. Ventura texts Combs, says, I checked with security. Jules left. You're good as long as you don't bother the other guests. Then unanswered calls. What does Combs text Ventura? He texts, call me. The cops are here. Then a call connects. Ventura makes a call to D-Rock. It connects. Combs calls Ventura. No answer. The government acts on this day. Special Agent Penland says, March 5th, 2016. Ventura texts, you are sick to think it's okay to do what you have done. Please stay far away from me. I have a premiere. The government asks, what does Mr. Combs text Ventura? Agent Penland says he texts, call me, help. Then he texts, help me. I'm about to be arrested. Cap. Then he says, then if you don't pick up, you'll never hear my voice again. The government asks, then what? The call answered. Then Karam calls. Christina Karam calls Cassie. Here, Agent Penland says, Ventura calls D-Rock, then Karam, and the call connects. The government asks, what does D-Rock text? The special agent says D-Rock texts, tell him to get out of there before they arrest him. He not picking up. The government asks, what does Miss Ventura text to Combs? That she's going to bed. The government asks, now what? Morgan to Karam. So there's a Morgan that's speaking to Christina Karam, KK. The special agent says, Carrie Morgan writes, I don't think anyone should call her. And a photo of an LAPD detective's business card. The government asks, what next? Special agent Penland says D-Rock and Coram call both call Cassie Ventura separately. Christina Coram asks Cassie, what is Eddie's last name? Oh, I'm sorry, asks D-Rock, what is Eddie's last name? So if y'all forgot, Eddie is the guy who worked at the hotel where Diddy was caught on camera beating Cassie. So this special agent is pretty much putting together all these messages that she found that were deleted. Okay, so she's pretty much saying she came to testify of all the messages that needed to be talked about. She's talking about it right now. And of course, it's not in order. It's out of order. That's just how they do things. So you'll hear me saying things out of order that probably don't make sense, but if you've been following this case, you will understand what's going on. So the government asks, what does D-Rock text to Combs? Special agent says, Cassie good, she eating breakfast. Then the 13-minute call, Combs and Ventura. The government asks, what does Mr. Nash write to Ventura? What time can you today? Arturo is available 3 or 4. Ventura said Rock's place. Special Agent Penland says, then Combs calls Eddie Garcia. Garcia calls back. The government asks, what does Ventura text? She texts, let's see here. She texts, this was supposed to be a big day for me. Now I wish I could just stay in bed. The government says, and here, special agent says, calls between Combs and Eddie Garcia. So there were a lot of calls back and forth between Combs and Eddie Garcia, who is the guy who sold Diddy the tape for $50,000. The government asks, and what's this? Special Agent Penland says a photo of Eddie Garcia's driver's license found on Christina Quorum's phone. So the government asks, now by March 9th, 2016, what occurs? The special agent says Combs calls Eddie Garcia. Then March 25th, 2016 at 1 p.m., Combs calls Eddie Garcia again. The government asks Agent Penland, other than these charts, did you have any involvement with this case? Agent Penland says no. The government says no further questions. Let's see here. Then, of course, Diddy's defense wants to ask questions. So then they start their questioning. After a break, the judge says, let's have Agent Penland back. And now the jury all rise. Garagos, Diddy's attorney, is going to be questioning Agent Penland. Garagos asks, you've been at SDNY for 10 years, right? Penland says yes. Garagos asks, let's turn to this date. Did you know Miss Ventura was in South Africa then? Agent Penland says no. Garagos asks about December 8th through the 9th of 2015. You didn't try to find out who else is in this chat. Agent Penland says I did not. Garagos asks, you are a special agent? Penland says yes. Garagos says, as a special agent, you know how to look for evidence, right? The government says objection. The judge says abstain. So, of course, you already know Diddy's defense is going to come for the kill. So Garagos asks, let's turn to August 2009. Under the name Sean Combs, you include several U.S. exhibits. Let's put one up. August 5th, 2009, Mr. Combs says, when do you want to freak off? LOL. What does Miss Ventura say? Special agent says, Cassie has, I'm always ready to freak off. Garagos asks, let's put up these defense exhibits. Miss Ventura writes, I'm so horny I can't concentrate. I'm going to Dwayne Reed packing luggage. Did you include this in your chart? Agent Penland says, no, I didn't. Here, Mr. Combs says he and Miss Ventura, I'm not asking you to freak off. What do you want to do? And she said, I want to smoke. Go for a walk. Let's go out and have some carefree fun. I'll go get the Valium, right? Agent Penland says, yes, that's correct. Garagos asks, Mr. Combs writes, I like it when Jules was in the room next door. Did you include this? Agent Penland says, no, my job was not to add things, just to see see, just to verify if it was correct. Um, Garagos asks, Mr. Combs writes, you horny or sleepy? Agent Penland says both, LOL. Garagos asks, let's shut off the public screens and show these videos. The judge said, okay, it's done. Everyone, we're, let's see here. Everyone hear some soothing piano music. Then everyone says, yes, I guess. The judge says, good. Garagos then plays a video. Garagos asks, this is a stipulation that the video was found under the Frank Black profile on device provided by Cassie Ventura. Here, Mr. Combs wrote, coming to New York City this weekend. What does Miss Ventura reply? Agent Penland says, it's really nice here. Garagos asks, Mr. Combs, right? I got us tickets for a Book of Mormon. That was not in your exhibit, was it? Miss Penland says it was not. Garagos asks, he writes, you ready for tonight? Let's see here. He writes, you ready for tonight? That's the day before the videos we looked at, right? Agent Penland said, correct. Garagos asks if we could pull up what's already in evidence, page 18, please. This is not included in your chart, right? Agent Penland said, correct. Garagos asks, Miss Ventura writes, keep having sexy flashbacks of yesterday. You see that? Agent Penland says, yes. Garagos asks, what does Miss Ventura write? Agent Penland says, she writes, I brought the best outfits for later and shoes. Garagos asks, what does she write here? Agent Penland says she writes, I promise I would be the nastiest freaky bee to make it up. To make it up. So I guess maybe she needed to make it up. So that's when she texts. So I guess Diddy's defense is pretty much reading text messages that shows that Cassie was actually excited about having the freak offs. But if you notice the timeline, this was around 2015. So I'm thinking this was around the beginning of their relationship or somewhere close to there. Well, 2015, no, because the incident happened in 2018 and then they split up then. So, because they were together with 10 years, almost 11 years. 2015, I guess. Anyway, that's what the defense wants to show, that Cassie did show that she actually liked doing the freak offs. And that they're also wanting to show that she requested rugs with the D also, because you heard them ask about Cassie with the volume. So Garagos asks Agent Penland, what does Miss Ventura write? Agent Penland says she writes, can't buy Astro, it's too expensive. When should I take it? Where is it? So I don't know why Garagos, which is the defense for Diddy, is asking the agent Penland about what Cassie is saying here. Garagos asks, Mr. Combs writes, it is in the bag. It's the orange peel. Garagos says, what does Miss Ventura write here? Agent Penland says, she writes, I can't wait until we have a baby. Happy Father's Day. Garagos asks, says, Mr. Combe writes, what do you want, baby? Let's see. Agent Penland says, she writes, I wish we could have freak off before you left. Okay. Garagos asks, what does Miss Ventura write? Agent Penland says she writes, I hate it that I don't use protection when I get high. I'm gonna get tested. Now, Why would they want her to say that? I don't understand. The defense is doing stuff that don't make sense to me. Anyway, Garagos asks, Mr. Combs writes, let's freak off now. What does she write? Agent Penland says she writes, okay, what hotel? Okay, when and where, pretty much. Garagos asks, Mr. Combs writes, I'm locked in the bathroom talking to my therapist. Oh my goodness. What do you want to do? Agent Penland says she writes, it takes Jules hours to get here. Hotel needs you to call to give them access. Do you see Dave Shirley writes to? Oh, Garagos asks, do you see Dave Shirley writes also? Writes to KK also, and she says yes. You speak on direct about Skylar. Garagos asks Penland. She says yes. Garagos asks, and the message about the cops are here, but there's not evidence of any 911 calls, right? Agent Penland says there is not. Combs Garagos asks, this photo of the detective's business card is the only thing about the police, right? Objection. The government says objection. The judge says sustain. Garagos asks, you included a call between Ventura and Combs. Was that a FaceTime call? Agent Penland says, I don't know. Garagos says, no further questions. The judge asks to redirect. The government says yes, briefly. The hotel in Riverhead, who was there? Agent Penland said Sean Combs, Cassandra Ventura, and Clayton Howard. The government asks, this photo shows the picture of Cassie with a black eye. Who is this photo? Agent Penland says, so you can remember. I don't know why she says so you. Oh, okay. Cassie sent that picture of her with the black eye to Diddy and said, so you can remember. So Agent Penland read what the caption said under the picture. It says, so you can remember. Okay, because she wanted him to know, to remember that he whooped her behind. Okay. So pretty much, that's pretty much what happened today. Or I would say like the the highlight from today from Diddy's trial was, it pretty much was that evidence there. The special agent Penland just came back and cleared up a lot of texts and videos and information that wasn't available when it needed to be available. So she just came back and did a run through of all the evidence that she found just to prove the government's case in the previous testimony and questions that was asked. So, Brendan Paul is supposed to testify tomorrow. He's the drug mule. Remember, he got caught around the same time that they did the raid for Diddy houses with actual rugs on him. Okay, a whole bunch of rugs on him. But they let him go. And I remember when they let him go, I said, "Oh no, he must took a plea deal or something." But it looks like he is going to testify against Diddy. What can he say, y'all? I'm pretty sure, just like most of the government's witnesses, that he will have immunity. But if he gets caught up in a lie, then he cannot actually be charged as well. So he has to still be truthful and honest, because if the defense finds out that he lied about something or gets him caught up in one of his lies, then it can be terrible, okay, for the government and for Brandon. So it's going to get real crazy tomorrow, you guys. That is a very strong witness. Jane Doe was big. She was. Cassie was even bigger. But this Brandon Paul right here is really going to be big. Now, Christina Coram, which was the chief of staff for Diddy's companies or whatever, all of them was pretty much like personal assistants to Diddy. She is, the government call her as a co-conspirator. So we're not sure what's going on, if she will testify. As of now, I haven't saw anything about her testifying, but we do know Brandon is testifying. Y'all, that's going to be huge, okay? Now, I don't know if Brandon goes by another name, because I really did not hear his name being called during the testimony. So I'm thinking he would have to have a code name or something, because we heard no names, but I didn't hear Brandon's name being called. So he would have had to be called something else, because obviously he was being used for services. So remember, guys, don't get all emotional about, oh, and we shouldn't be hearing about Diddy's ex life, because it's way deeper than Diddy's ex life. This has to do with having people, having employees working to set up these hotel nights, these Wild Kingdom nights with prostitution, with prostitutes, and it's illegal to do that. And New York, Miami, LA, London, and the other different states and countries that they visited, sending tickets, plane flights, and all for these entertainers to fly all across the world, pretty much. So this is the case. Does the case sound like a valid case to you guys after hearing all this evidence? I don't know what you guys are feeling, but I'm thinking it's not sounding good for Diddy at all. And they actually said today that they believe court is going to end before time. So if court is going to, if this trial will end before that July 4th weekend or week, around there, if the court ends before then, where's that leaving the defense with a defense? Like, I'm thinking, where is this defense going to come from? Because it's not looking good for Diddy. I mean, if that is the case and they're going to be ending this trial very soon, it doesn't look like Diddy is going to be on trial. So you can get that out your head. Doesn't look like Diddy's going to get on trial and say anything to save himself. The government and the judge would not allow him to add in other names that would get other people caught up in like the conspiracy, which was very strange to me. But what can you do about that? It looks like they are wanting to take Diddy down by himself. And anybody who wants to come and support him, hopefully they won't get caught up, because the defense will have at least three people, three witnesses that they will call to, I guess, say some good things about Diddy. But remember, they will also have to be questioned by the government as well. And the government is very experienced in this. And they have what, like a 99% conviction rate. So, whew, for any person who stands up to try to help Diddy out, good luck to you guys, because I wouldn't do that. That's like playing with fire right there. It really is. And I feel like Kanye coming to court the day after his name was called, or that everyone expected him, he probably was coming trying to be cute, because that probably was more of like a get back to the prosecution. Oh, y'all was trying to actually, it doesn't add up. Listen, you guys. So Diddy's team was trying to get the name mention of the rapper, the famous rapper, and his wife who had the freak off. Diddy's team was trying to get that name out. So if that actually was Kanye, they were trying to do that. The government actually told the judge, no, we do not want that name to be posted. We want to keep that name like it is. The defense was trying to get the name out. So then the next day, Kanye comes to court, and there's videos of him dapping up Diddy's sons and walking in the courthouse with Diddy's sons and stuff. And he only stayed about 40 minutes, they said. He didn't stay long at all, because he probably felt like, oh, they might try to get me. Let me get up out of here. But it didn't make sense to me that he showed up the next day for support for Diddy when if he would have been if he was actually the person they were talking about doing the case, it just doesn't add up and make sense to me. I don't know, but Kanye probably used it as the opportunity to, get some attention, but it's the worst attention you can have. You do not want that kind of attention because if I was Kanye, I'll be thinking, oh, the government's probably coming after me next, especially if that was his name that we wasn't able to see. And you guys, okay, in other news, all right, other than Diddy, Jaguar Wright did an interview with um, Desiree Perez's daughter, Demori. And if you guys haven't seen it, make sure you go check out Jaguar Wright's channel. She did an amazing interview with Demori. And Demori was just telling her story and letting you know that Desiree Perez is straight up evil. Evil. She is evil. Everything she does is evil. And I'm pretty sure a lot more stuff is going to come out about her and probably Jay-Z as well. But I really feel like Desiree allegedly, excuse me, in my opinion, had something to do with the Megan Thee Stallion case and the Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez case. So, like I said, everything is just falling apart. The tower is falling apart for these people. Did y'all see that Tyler Perry is being sued? Tyler Perry is being sued by one of his cast members from if you know his show, um what's the name of the show? The Oval. Why I couldn't think. Oh my goodness. I was like, what? The Oval, y'all. I'm a huge fan of The Oval. I will say Tyler Perry is very messy, but The Oval was my show. I could definitely get into it, but the seasons are real crazy. So I haven't seen it in a while, but The Oval I really got into. So I know exactly who this Derek Dixon guy is, and to see him suing Tyler Perry for $260 million, y'all. He is talking about he's making some very serious claims here. Okay, hold on. Let me put my glasses on so I can read. Sorry about that. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's see who got the scoop. I was surprised TMZ didn't have the scoop on Tyler Perry. But I guess Tyler Perry must have paid them. I don't know. Allegedly, this is my opinion. Anyway, so I'm reading from the New York Post. Okay, they says Tyler Perry sued for $260 million over alleged SA from an actor of The Oval. Tyler Perry has been accused of allegedly SN, the actor from his popular TV series The Oval. The Post can confirm. According to court documents obtained by the Post, actor Derek Dixon sued Perry, 55, for alleged SA and actual harassment in a lawsuit filed with the Superior Court of California in Los Angeles on June 13th. Dixon claimed that Perry took his success and power and used his considerable influence in the entertainment industry to create a coercive, sexual, explorative dynamic with the actor. Ooh, okay. And this is the actor right here, you guys. If you don't know his face, you could definitely look him up. Yes. Okay, I believe he played one of the gay guys in The Oval. It says when Dixon did not reciprocate Perry's alleged advances, he claimed the media mogul purportedly began to subject him to escalating sexual harassment, assault and battery, and professional retaliation per the lawsuit. Dixon claimed that he first met the Diary of a Mad Black Woman creator at an event in 2019, and that Perry picked him out of the crowd. I bet he did. And later asked for his phone number while suggesting that he might have an acting role for him. Perry then cast Dixon to 2 episodes of his BET series, Ruthless. Perry said it was a small role that can get a lot bigger, thereby setting up the first stage in a series of escalating offers. Dixon alleged in the lawsuits. In January 2020, the House of Pain producer allegedly invited Dixon to his home in Douglasville County, Georgia. Although Dixon hoped that he would be given a chance to befriend Perry and show him how talented of an actor he was, Dixon claimed that he was allegedly served many alcoholic drinks and convinced to spend the night at the mogul's home, y'all, and they have text messages to prove it. Like to hear it, here it goes. So the text messages goes like this. What's it going to take for you to have guiltless sex? Have y'all found that yet in therapy? Yes, it's the exact same kind of car, Geo Metro. This all the same person saying this. So then it says, giving up my religious guilt, becoming a Buddhist, maybe? That's so cool where you came from. Unfortunately, Derek, I have friends who are in their 50s and 60s who are still dealing with that, and it's so sad. You can be have freedom from religious guilt and still believe in Christ. You can be have. You can still have. So it sounds like the first round of text messages is from Tyler Perry. So it really sounds like they're talking about his sexuality because Tyler Perry would be asking him, what's it going to take for you to have guiltless sex? So it sounds like maybe Derek Dixon is battling, not feeling strong enough to come out, maybe. Anyway, there's another round of text messages. Let's listen. So again, this part is from Tyler Perry. He says, nice. Santa Monica is nice. I'm glad you're out there. How is your no? Is it stronger? You got to have a strong no. Then I believe this is Derek Dixon saying, yes, it's strong. My mom literally thinks I'm going to sell my soul to the Illuminati. She heard Kanye say that it's real. Then Tyler Perry says, well, I don't think that, but I do think that you have to be able to say no and mean it and make it clear. Then Derek Dixon asks or says, I'll only say yes if it means me an Oscar. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. I hear you. That's all Derek Dixon. Now Tyler Perry. He says, well, the only one who could have gotten that for you through sex is in prison. So just stick to the no unless you are really into him. Okay. Oh, did y'all hear that? So if this is Tyler Perry talking to Derek Dixon, he says, well, the only one who could have gotten that for you through XCX is in prison. Is he saying that Diddy could have got him some type of role or some type of situation, but he's in prison? I don't know. Then they have this last message here. So again, this is supposed to be Tyler Perry. It says, why did that photo make me jealous of you two together? And Derek Dixon says, ha ha ha, I don't know. It's just Brad, LOL. And then Tyler Perry says, LOL. And Derek Dixon says, he just wanted to go for a quick walk to get his steps in. And now I'm walking to Chipotle by myself, LOL. Tyler Perry says, thick Derek. get that Chipotle. Okay, and then the New York Post says at the end of the night, Perry told Dixon not to drive home. The lawsuit read Perry said it was dangerous and that Dixon was too inebriated to drive home. Dixon agreed and was escorted to a separate guest room, not knowing that this was a ruse to allow Perry to assault Dixon. Dixon was tired and did not have pajamas, so he just got into the bed only wearing underwear. The complaint continued. Before he knew what was going on, Dixon felt someone else slip into bed behind him and start rubbing Dixon's body around his inner thigh in a highly sexual and suggestive manner. Dixon turned around and saw that Tyler Perry was in bed with him. Shortly after the alleged incident, Perry cast Dixon in the Oval and allegedly told the actor to quit his other job as an event staffer because Perry was not able to control Dixon so long as Dixon had a secondary income that was providing for his basic needs. Okay, and then there's some more messages here. I'm not sure who's saying what, so let's try to figure this out, y'all. Treat myself right. What are you doing? Derek. Okay, so that must be Tyler Perry. And then Derek says, just talking to my sister. Then here goes Tyler Perry. He writes out, I roll, and then says, fine. Good night. I'll go through the 600 people in my phone book and be annoyed that I don't want to talk to any of them. So then Derek says, trying to get off so I can go to sleep, LOL. Tyler Perry says, I understand, LOL. Derek Dixon says, laugh out loud. Apparently, you're not the only one that's been drinking tonight. Tyler Perry says, I just started. Dixon says, they didn't, laugh out loud. Tyler Perry says, but I swear to you, I know how to fix this. I love killing a mother in a show that no one expects. And then Dixon says, you could be sipping Mai Tais, counting coconuts right now. Tyler Perry says, think about the last episode. They are all shot at. We don't know who lives. Derek Dixon says it exactly. I'm scared. They should be too. And then he starts laughing. Tyler Perry says, nope, they're not. Derek Dixon says, last I checked, we all got the same bullets in us. Talking about the TV show. I don't understand how some of these text messages are helping his story here. I don't know. It seems like they're going over the script for the Oval. Anyway, so the New York Post says Dixon claimed his role as Dale in the Oval was written as a gay, homeless, and desperate store clerk who was forced to sleep with one of the other characters for a place to stay because that was what Perry was allegedly looking for in a real life partner that was homeless, probably that he could take care of. The most shocking accusation allegedly unfolded in June 21 when Dixon claimed he was almost R-worded by Perry while once again visiting the entertainment mogul's Georgia home. He alleged that Perry pulled down his underwear and groped his butt after asking for a goodnight hug. Rather than arguing, Dixon complied, at which point Perry reached out and yanked Dixon's underwear down from behind. The claims in the lawsuit stated Perry then began to vigorously grab, grope, and play with Dixon's buttocks in an sexual manner. Dixon was naked. He was stunned and seized by tremendous fear. Dixon started to tell Perry that he did not want his underwear down, that Dixon didn't want to be naked, and that Dixon didn't want this. The lawsuit continued. Dixon quickly reached to pull his underwear back up. Soon as he did, Perry grabbed Dixon's reaching arm with a tight grip and held fast. According to the court documents, Dixon was able to distract Perry and change the subject before the alleged incident went any further. Dixon ultimately filed a complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission in or around June 2024 before quitting the Oval because of the alleged SA harassment per the lawsuit. Besides his many accusations against Perry, Dixon also included several years' worth of alleged text message exchanges between him and Medea creator in this filing. Dixon is suing Perry and Tyler Perry Studios for SA harassment, work environment harassment, actual harassment, workplace gender violence, actual battery, actual assault, retaliation, and more. He is also seeking $260 million in damages, just like Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Sean P. Diddy Combs, Kevin Spacey, Roger Ailes, and many others in this industry. Mr. Perry's success has led him to believe that money and influence can get him whatever he wants, Dixon wrote in his lawsuit. That belief slowly transformed into false Medea, and that Perry can get whomever he wanted. There are things in life that money cannot buy. That's what Dixon said. Perry's attorney, Matthew Boyd, denied the claims, telling the Post this is an individual who got close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam. But Tyler will not be shaken down, and we are confident these fabricated claims of harassment will fail. So, y'all, this is definitely a real claim here. Whew. And I swear his accusations, Derek Dixon's accusations, sounds almost like who is that guy who came out and kind of told us who was harassing him but didn't really tell us, and then he disappeared and everybody figured he just got paid, and now we don't hear from him anymore. Anyway, that's the other guy who worked with Tyler Perry. Well, I guess if he would have waited just a little while longer, he would have had some backup. Anyway, this is a very serious claim against Tyler Perry, and it don't look good. I don't know what else to say. It don't look good for the boy, okay? Because y'all know how it starts off. It starts off with the first case, and then many others will come along and say, you know, I was SA too. I was assaulted too. And it sounds like this is Tyler Perry's MO. This is how he gets down. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting, real interesting to find out how that's going to end. Anyway, I saw some videos of Cardi B and Stephon Diggs, and I swear it seems like they were looking for the cameras, and it made me wonder if they were paying the paparazzi to take pictures and stuff. I don't know. It was just the looks that Cardi B and Stephon Diggs, they did a real long kiss, and then right after the kiss, she looked directly at the camera, and then she got in the car, and it was like, it just made me feel like, is that one of those relationships where it's just like a game or something? Like, I don't know. It's real weird. Anyway, y'all, if you don't know, R. Kelly was hospitalized. They said apparently there was a plotted overdose that R. Kelly's lawyer is saying is the cause of what got R. Kelly in the hospital, y'all. I should have did multiple videos here. I'm going to see if I could cut this up and edit it to different ones. But yeah, it is crazy, okay? I was like, all this is going down today. It was a lot of stuff going on. So R. Kelly is doubling down on his claim that his life is in grave danger. In prison, TMZ has R. Kelly news, okay? They don't have Tyler Perry news, but they got R. Kelly news. So this is where I'm reading this from. Now alleging the Bureau of Prison staff at his federal center in North Carolina purposefully gave him too much medication, causing him to overdose. And they end up leaving him in the hospital, y'all. So apparently, R. Kelly was taking medicine. He took his medicine like he was supposed to, but they gave him a double dose of the medication, and it caused him to like have overdose effects, and they had to rush him to the hospital. Y'all, almost killed him and took his life. And on top of that, R. Kelly's lawyer is claiming big claims that either the federal bureau of the prison is trying to take him out, or someone may be trying to delete him because they have been complaining about some health issues that R. Kelly has had that no one has helped him with. Reportedly, allegedly, R. Kelly has a couple blood clots in his left leg, and they have been requesting to get some treatment done for those blood clots. Now, if you don't know, blood clots are very serious because they can go up to your heart and stop your heart from working. So, if he's been complaining about, needing to get these blood clots treated, and then here they are overdosing him, which made him had a terrible reaction and could have took his life, I feel like he really got some serious claims. Now, how you feel about him is how you feel about him, but what is actually going on here? And it seems like this is the second incident so far this year that we heard about someone about to pass away. Because the first one was Tory Lanez, where someone just apparently just got so upset with him they wanted to stab him 17 times. So I don't know. These are some very serious claims. It really does sound like something is going on here. How would the prison make that type of mistake to double dose someone? That doesn't sound right. I know many people will probably disagree with me, but something doesn't smell right to me. It sounds real fishy. And yeah, so that's all the information I have today. The Nelly and Ashanti show is about to air. I believe that comes out the end of June. I'm gonna actually see that, you guys. I saw a little clip of that last week, the end of last week, and I was like, I gotta check this out to really see what's going on here. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely be watching that show to see. Superman is coming out with a movie, you guys. How many Marvel fans do we have on this channel here? I'm a huge Marvel fan. To see Superman, that was one of my very first superheroes that I trusted and believed in, which is Superman. That movie is coming out. I'm definitely going to have to check that out and do a review for that. Y'all already know how I do. All right. Thank you so much for joining my channel here. I know it's been long, but we had a good bit to talk about, and we got it all pretty much discussed here on the page. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe so we can talk about the latest news and gossip that's going on, okay? Because it's happening. All right, it's getting deeper. But yes, I definitely be back with another video tomorrow, because y'all know that Brandon Paul information is going to be key. That testimony right there is probably the messiness that I've been waiting for during this whole trial. Hopefully he'll really be honest and give us some good truths. But yeah, 50 Cent, you guys. I want to talk about 50 Cent real quick, okay? So if you don't know, 50 Cent made a post about, he said something about his first baby mom, the lady who he didn't get along with. I don't even think he takes care of that child, or I know he doesn't have a relationship with that child. And then he said something real like, I forgot how he said it, but it was real crazy. Then he made a statement about his second baby mama, and he said something about, yeah, I'm going to get him, so it's okay. Which makes me feel like 50 Cent, after this case is over, he's probably going to try to take his son from Jane Doe. If Jane Doe is actually his baby mama, I feel like 50 Cent is going to try to take his child. And he's probably going to have a great opportunity to do that. And probably will be rewarded with his child, because if you think about it, Jane Doe made a lot of claims about her doing a lot of drugs. Okay. And she's out here living a very crazy lifestyle. I could see a judge giving 50 Cent his child with no problem. Far as 50 Cent just being a motor mouth, you don't hear too many bad things about 50 Cent. Other than that relationship he doesn't have with that first child. We hear a lot about that. But I believe that child is grown and is an adult. So, but yeah, it ain't looking real good for Miss Jane Doe. Okay. If Jane Doe is 50 Cent's baby mama, girl, is not looking good. Your next court date, you not gonna be happy about. Okay. So yeah, that's it, and that's all. But that's all I got for you guys. I definitely wanted to talk about that. Yes, leave me a comment in the comment section if y'all want to go in. We could go in together. I really love that. Make sure you subscribe to my channel to get the latest gossip out here in tea, because I love to give it. And give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And you guys, I talk to you soon. Have an awesome evening. Peace. Peace, Chris. Love you too. Bye. Bye.